The forest falls silent before the giant arrives. Ferns shiver beneath footsteps heavy as collapsing stone. Somewhere ahead, a predator owns this entire horizon. Not the longest hunter, nor the strangest, but perhaps the deadliest. Its world is warm, green, and seconds from thunder. The question is simple and impossibly difficult. What made one prehistoric hunter more fearsome than all others? Teeth matter, but they are only the beginning. To answer, we must enter the last age of dinosaurs and meet the tyrant that still haunts our imagination. Fear is not just size. It is power, senses, speed, and certainty. Many prehistoric predators were enormous. Few combined so many weapons at once. Scientists cannot crown a champion with total certainty, but one name returns again and again. Tyrannosaurus rex lived near the very end. It ruled western North America 68 to 66 million years ago. This was Laramidia, a long island continent. Swamps, rivers, and coastal plains stretched beneath heavy skies. Flowering plants were spreading fast. Conifers, palms, and ferns still framed the wetlands. Horned dinosaurs moved like living barricades. Duckbills gathered in great restless herds. Among them walked a hunter built for consequences. Everything about its body promised finality. An adult T-Rex could reach about 12 meters. The largest estimates push beyond that. Its hips stood taller than most humans. Its mass likely reached several tons. But length alone does not create terror. Plenty of giants were less completely armed. T-Rex carried immense jaws on a deep skull. The whole head functioned like industrial equipment. Its teeth were not blade-thin knives. They were thick, serrated spikes built to endure force. Some teeth exceeded 15 centimeters with root included. They resembled railroad spikes with edges. That shape matters. Slender teeth slice, but stout teeth survive bone. And T-Rex did more than survive impact. It appears to have pulverized through it. Bite force estimates vary by method. All place it among the strongest land animal bites ever studied. Some studies suggest over 30,000 newtons. Others push much higher under different models. Numbers alone can feel abstract. Imagine a bite designed not merely to kill, but crush. Fossilized droppings preserve shattered bone fragments. Whatever went into that mouth came out broken. The skull itself reveals unusual engineering. Bones were reinforced to handle tremendous stress. Even the snout seems telling. It likely helped absorb forces during violent contact. Yet fearsome predators need more than jaws. They must find prey before prey finds them. Here, T-Rex becomes even more impressive. Its senses may have been superb. Its eye sockets faced partly forward. That suggests strong depth perception for a giant theropod. Depth perception matters in the final approach. Distance must be judged before power is unleashed. Its olfactory bulbs were unusually large. Smell may have guided it across great distances. Wind moves over mudflats and cypress shadows. Somewhere within it, scent becomes information. Hearing matters too, though details remain debated. Low-frequency sensitivity has been proposed for Tyrannosaurs. If true, that world sounded different. Heavy footfalls and distant calls may have carried farther. Then there were the legs. They were powerful, long, and built for relentless movement. No, it was not a sprinting cheetah. Mass sets limits, especially at giant sizes. But speed is not the whole story. Efficient walking matters more in a huge predator. T-Rex seems built to cover ground. Long strides could turn landscapes into hunting routes. Its tail balanced the front-heavy skull. Every step became part of a controlled machine. And then there were the muscles. The neck alone was a system of cables. A locked bite was only the beginning. Flesh, hide, and bone still had to move. Scientists also study healed bite marks. Some fossils suggest Tyrannosaurs bit living, struggling animals. A Triceratops bone can carry old damage. Healing means the victim lived after the encounter. That does not prove every hunt succeeded. It proves attack, at least sometimes, was real. T-Rex was also a scavenger. Any intelligent large predator would seize easy calories. That old argument is mostly over. The evidence supports both scavenging and active hunting. In other words, it wasted nothing. Opportunity itself became another weapon. Imagine the pressure on a floodplain herd. Somewhere nearby, a hunter can smell weakness. A limping hadrosaur changes the mood instantly. Distance opens, heads lift, and silence spreads. Fearsome does not always mean dramatic pursuit. Sometimes it means inevitable selection. The tyrant may wait for terrain. Mud, water, and panic can finish the trap. It may approach with shocking patience. Energy saved now becomes force later. This is where the animal feels modern. Not monstrous, but efficient. And efficiency in a predator is unsettling. It suggests decisions, not chaos. T-Rex did not start life gigantic. Its body changed dramatically as it grew. Juveniles were slimmer and longer-legged. Adults became deeper-skulled, heavier, and more forceful. That matters for an ecosystem. One species may have filled several predator roles. Smaller tyrannosaurs could chase different prey. Massive adults dominated the biggest animals available. Few predators transform so completely. It is like nature replacing its own caste. Paleontologists see growth written in bone. Rings and textures preserve changing life stages. Teenage tyrannosaurs may have grown astonishingly fast. For a time, they were living acceleration. Then adulthood arrives like architecture. The skull broadens, and every motion gains consequence. Those tiny arms still invite jokes, but they were muscular and not completely useless. Their exact roles remain debated. They may have helped during rising, holding, or mating. Yet the arms missed the point. The head did the unforgettable work. Even its skin is partly mysterious. Fossils suggest scales, with feathers possible in some stages. Young animals may have carried more insulation. Adults, being huge, may have needed less. That image matters more than aesthetics. It changes how the ancient air feels around it. Not a movie monster, but an animal. Real muscle, real breath, real weathered skin. Would you face this landscape at dawn? Tell me below. Which matters most here? Size, senses, or raw bite power? Now widen the frame. Other legendary predators enter the comparison. Comparison changes the feeling. This is where the argument becomes interesting. Spinosaurus was longer, perhaps far longer, but it hunted in a very different way. Its crocodile-like snout and dense bones tell stories. It seems specialized for watery environments and fish. Spectacular, yes, but not universally armed. T-Rex appears deadlier across more situations. Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus were enormous too. Their skulls favored slicing more than crushing. They were terrifying in their own worlds. Fearsome is not the same as identical. Allosaurus came earlier, lighter and more flexible, but it lacked the same heavy-duty bite. Marine predators complicate the contest further. Water creates different rules, different bodies, different weapons. Megalodon may have exceeded any dinosaur in mass. Mosasaurs turn seas into ambush corridors. But a shark is not a tyrannosaur. Ocean terror cannot be measured by land standards. So the question sharpens. Which predator was most completely dangerous for its own environment? On land, T-Rex remains hard to dethrone. Too many strengths stack inside one body. It had the bite. It had the senses, size, and evidence of active predation. It also lived among giant, dangerous prey. To dominate, there required extraordinary control. Triceratops was no easy victim. A single horn could turn attack into disaster. Even Ankylosaurus carried a living wrecking ball. One tail swing may have been catastrophic. To hunt among such prey required judgment. Power without timing would be expensive. That is another reason T-Rex stands apart. Its weapons matched unusually dangerous neighbors. Its teeth also serrated deeply. Those edges helped initiate cracks and tearing. Some researchers describe a puncture and pull feeding style. Bite first, then wrench backward with the neck. That combination could open huge carcasses efficiently. It also let the predator reach nutritious, bone-rich tissue. Bone-rich tissue matters during lean times. Marrow and scraps reward persistence. The face may have been sensitive too. Some studies suggest touch mattered around the snout. If so, the jaws were even more precise. Massive force did not exclude control. And control keeps returning to the story. Fearsome predators waste fewer chances. Fossil trackways are rare but evocative. A footprint can preserve weight as a moment. Three-toed impressions sink into ancient mud. The animal is gone, but pressure remains. That is the Tyrannosaur legacy in miniature. Absence, somehow, still feels heavy. Picture a mature Edmontosaurus herd crossing shallows. Mud sucks at every step. Dragonflies skim the water's skin. Distant conifers disappear behind heat haze. Then birds erupt from a stand of ferns. Something bigger has entered the wind. You do not see it first. You feel the herd decide. Bodies compress toward the center. Heads turn and breathing changes tempo. This may be how fear speaks then. Not screams, but alignment. A tyrannosaur does not need to rush blindly. It needs the right animal to hesitate. One stumble reshapes the geometry. Now power can reach its target. And once those jaws close, escape narrows. The skull was built for commitment. We should be careful here. No human ever witnessed this directly. Every scene is a reconstruction, but it is built from bones, tracks, and comparisons. Scientists debate speed, feathers, and social behavior. That uncertainty is part of the wonder. Pack hunting, for example, remains unresolved. Bone beds hint at possibilities, not simple answers. Solitary or social, an adult stayed formidable. The landscape had to notice it. Even other tyrannosaurs were at risk. Bite marks on tyrannosaur bones reveal conflict. Some injuries healed. Others speak of lives lived near danger. Fearsome predators do not inhabit peaceful kingdoms. Power attracts challenge as surely as hunger. And still, adulthood was not common. Few creatures reach old age at the top. Survival meant surviving youth first. It also meant surviving rivals, injury, and bad seasons. In that sense, fearsome means durable. It means built to keep winning. Then the sky changes the story. An asteroid strikes far to the south. The impact ends ecosystems, not just species. Darkness, cold, and collapse follow. Tyrannosaurus rex disappears with the non-avian dinosaurs. The most fearsome hunter loses to planetary physics. That ending matters. It reminds us dominance is always temporary. Yet for millions of years before that night, T-Rex was astonishingly well designed. Not perfect in every context, but devastatingly capable in its own. That is why the title fits carefully. Fearsome is about the whole package. The bite alone could headline legends. The senses and life history complete the case. It was not merely huge, it was integrated. A body, skull, and ecosystem aligned. Few predators in history show that combination so clearly. Stand here long enough and the world explains itself. Nothing moves casually when the tyrant is near. The insects continue. The herd does not relax. Fear survives even without a strike. Presence alone can shape a landscape. That may be the clearest answer of all. The most fearsome predator changes behavior before contact. We arrived only at the end of Earth's story. Countless empires rose before our species spoke. For almost all of time, humans were absent. The world belonged to stranger powers. Their bones still surface through stone. Each fossil is a message from lost weather. We read them with microscopes and hammers, yet the first feeling is still awe. Stone keeps the facts. Imagination only lights the scene. The predator is gone. Its silhouette still defines power. And some messages still carry footsteps. They tell us fear once had teeth. Would you survive one day in this world? Tell me below. Subscribe and ring the bell. More lost worlds are waiting. We are the briefest chapter here. Deep Time was always watching.